Alright, so welcome back to the Castlevania Aria of Sorrow Randomizer Tournament 2022. We are here in round 1, well, round 2 now. There were some play-ins that were calling round 1, with a match between Halgorithm and JupiterClimb. Hal being the revolutionizer of Circle of the Moon speedrunning recently. You might also know him from the Halgorithm Daily Post. And Jupiter with a bunch of Castlevania world records, including executing on that Circle of the Moon strategy. So yeah, they've played a video game before. Looking forward to a good match here. Casual clothes selling for a decent price today. So the shop is randomized, and Soma starts out with a small stipend of 30,000 gold to buy some things. Is someone trying this race? Mika and I was on it, but you could hop in if you wanted. So flying armor in the starting room. That does not bode well for a very fast start, but the settings for these seeds are Panther first, so they will be getting the super speed item Black Panther shortly. Just have to walk a little further for it than usual. And they should be able to dispatch Creaking Skull pretty quickly, especially by throwing horses. There we go, Hal's got Black Panther. So not completely the last place it could be, but not ideal. Jupe getting a random zombie soldier drop off the bats. Some of these enemies that you can just run through, you can, like, pretty easily get a soul off them, and... Ooh, Hal finding Hippogriff, okay. So that's already our flight requirement settled for finishing the game. And there's Skoola, so we are getting a lot of things here. There's two, like, hard required progression items to finish. You need something to be able to get up into the top floor area to fight Graham, because you can't just jump up there with your double jump. And you need to be able to swim to get through this one puddle of water in the Chaotic Realm. Oh, and yes, there was Giant Bat also. Yeah, so that settles the slide checks as well, because Bat can get us to fit into the same one-tile spaces. Getting into inner quarters, this is not a very difficult area, so it's decent for the relative lack of equipment we have so far. Selling those casual clothes was a pretty good idea for how much they sold for. And great armor is also not a very difficult boss fight, so kind of a friendly start so far. We can really just, like, carve through things at the moment with all the movement we have. And so they'll get to look at a bunch of items, and hopefully that gives them some decent equipment. Hal taking this room very carefully. We have seen some deaths here in the tournament so far. and then sleeping out of it. So you can use the sleep function to go back to the entrance of the room, and it is good for some of these big rooms. Jupiter's bailing out, it looks like, heading back to check some other entrances. That is a ninja suit at the bottom of inner quarters. And Jupe's finding the study, which has Undyne in it. Alright. So really, he's just one item away from being able to go anywhere, and Hal finds Clock Tower with 25 HP. Clock Tower is a little bit dangerous to traverse, so yeah, having him look at his healing right here. Jupiter's sneaking his way into the backdash room. I didn't get to see what the item is, but I think he's deemed that it is nothing. And then he runs to Legion, and yeah, that's gonna be a reset. And he's got Manticore, so Jupiter can literally go anywhere now. While Hal is gonna save split these two checks down here in Clock Tower that take a little while. Now, Hal does get Galamoth at the end of this, which he has to keep, and this is like the worst place to find it. So that could pay off though. We've already seen inner quarters; they can get to that door. So we'll see. That's something to keep in the back of our minds. Jupiter is finding the door to Underground Reservoir. This one that is usually near the beginning of the game, but you can only like check these first two items early on. And he's gonna be able to do everything in here. We'll see how much he does. I know he does not like doing Eastern Reservoir if he can get away with it, so we'll see. Gonna take that Rahab sword. And Hal's finding Arena now. Oh yeah, I guess that is the vanilla spot for Rahab Sword. It makes such a refreshing, like, icy chunk sound, too, when you use it. And the slide spot in Reservoir is Book 1, so Siren from Kioma Demon. We'll write that down, and Hal's got his rush as well now. Milk is maybe not the best item to see for healing in the shop, but it'll do. It looks like Dance Hall was over here to the left. Also not a very bad area to go into right now, difficulty-wise. He did pick up the Warp in Arena, so he can go back there at any point. I totally understand trying to want to get some better stuff before, you know, ramming your head into that. For what it's worth, they could full clear Arena, though. That's, like, the degree of how much stuff they've gotten so far. And it's Kicker Skeleton behind the waterfall. And what else is here? There's also a door. Oh, just back into the corridor. This long dance hall door. That's a book. So book 3 is over in Dance Hall. Now, I was fairly certain that Hal picked up Bat, but he might reset out of this and go pick it up again if what's down here really does not pay out. Because these 3 items at the bottom of Dance Hall are thought to be very long to check, and save splitting this area is pretty wise in general. Oh, he was going to save before the boss and take a look, though. And it's Death, which... pretty nice to fight him. Especially if Hal's got a mistletoe, as some people were suggesting. Death and Headhunter represent 2 of the shop upgrades. And so, beating one or the other expands the items that Hammer has on offer. And in the Randomizer, they are actually separated shop upgrades. So, in the first Randomizer, you could beat Death and get access to Headhunter's shop items, but that's not the case anymore. Headhunter and Death have split inventory additions, let's say. Getting knocked around a bit, I do think that Death's first form is a decent bit more difficult than the second form. Also, that was a vanilla reservoir exit right there. Still on the lookout for Garden and Top Floor. Floating Garden and Top Floor are the 2 areas with the final fights in them, so I guess you don't have to remember where they are if you've never seen them in the first place. At the top of the Killer Doll room, here we are, it's Top Floor. That is also a vanilla entrance. And a dead end. But yeah, Jupiter's definitely gonna do this while he's here. And it's Basilisk behind Devil, or behind Death, rather. You don't like to see Basilisk, but we did just see Book 3 upstairs, and if that says Basilisk, we may not be in for a good time. Basilisk is a soul that basically swaps your attack and defense, and your attack in this game is often higher than your defense. So this reduces your damage output drastically, and like defense doesn't really matter, but the defensive effects are even really muted for what it does. It is not a good soul. Oh, Hell finally picked up his flying armor. For some reason I thought he got that earlier. Just rolling around with the Muramasa, it's great to be able to hit these wrecking balls. Any multi-hit attack is great for them. And finding Chapel behind the top floor wrecking ball exit. A lot of items in here, and we'll just be able to zoom around, really. Shadow Knight, that's a good blue soul. And Red Minotaur, that's also a good soul. Getting some decent power level stuff now. Backdash for halgorithm. Backdash is not going to help us out super much logic-wise, but it is great for some of the later fights where being able to like keep your distance and also cancel your attacks to get more hits in is very useful. And Halgorithm finds the entrance to Forbidden Area that we can actually go in. I guess neither runner really had a reason to come over here before. So we're just seeing this for the first time as part of the castle. They got so much movement that you might as well go check the hard to get into doors early. And Jupe's gonna run through Dance Hall now. Gonna get a look at that book. That's a black belt for Halgorithm, so I got the offensive armor set now. Book 3 is Golem from Disc Armor. Yeah, I've definitely seen Golem. Even if not, Disc Armor is not very hard to find. They're kind of memorable. So we've got Book 3, Golem from Disc Armor, and Book 1 is Siren from Kyoma Demon. Dance Hall Ceiling has a copy of Nemesis. And House finding this way in the top floor, but with not much health. Please heal. Don't get hit by this guy. Thank you. Looks like Jupiter might see what this boss is here in Underground Cemetery. It's Balor. Balor's definitely fightable by this point. Jupiter was just playing some Aria of Sorrow, any percent, no 0 HP, so getting a lot of Balor practice in. And there is that Muramasa for Halgorithm now. Oh, ow. Well, he knows top floor is there now. I don't believe he went in the other door to know that he can just get there from corridor, but not too easy of a, I mean, not too bad of a backtrack. He also knows that he doesn't super need a lot of those checks now. And behind Belor, we've got Skeleton Blaze, so that's our other slide. Tear of Blood, that's a decent accessory. Taking another death. Final guards just really, like, they hit hard. I believe he also might have been skipping over some of the choices for slightly better armor than the ninja suit here, so I was going to say equipping those might help, but he apparently doesn't have them. He might have sold them off when I wasn't looking. Jupiter finishing out Chapel and finding the left way into Clock Tower. Got that flesh golem tech, so we can buy all the rotten food we can stuff into our pockets now. I definitely do not like backtracking through that pendulum room because you get bounced around like that. That's another room that you could use the sleep function to get back to the start of if you wanted. Jupiter picking up that Galamoth. Neither of them has been there yet, so maybe that is where our Blue Book secrets lie. And Jupiter's found Arena now. We didn't see Hal get very far into this. Like, he does have some options. He could come back here, because he did pick up the warp. And there's our Siren at the top there. So that's Red Soul checked off. Hal very carefully got around that big guy and can see what his boss is. If he wants. Okay, yeah, he is going in. That's just Big Golem. There's the Mistletoe behind the Big Golem. Big Golem, third boss of the game, not too bad to chew through at this point. Boss stats are exactly as they were in the vanilla game, they've just been moved around. Oh, there's another copy of Book 3 in the arena as well, in the worst room in the game. And now Hal's found his way into Chapel as well. Doing this top room check, nope, just a greatsword. And Headhunter at the end of Arena, also nice to see for that shop expansion. I mean, even if your movement is good through the worst room in the game, you still have to, like, you've survived a lot of things to be able to do that. Behind Balor, just a weapon, or Balor's spot, that is. So as far as where people are, I think Jupiter still has a slight lead. I'm not entirely sure why Hal did not pick up the Book 3 when he first saw it. I think he might not have remembered that he had Bat and would be able to get it. But kind of like juking around it for a little bit might have slowed him down. At least there is another copy that he could encounter, possibly. There is a 50% chance that a second copy of a book is placed in the castle. Jupiter's back to the underground reservoir and gets an Osafune at the bottom of that water. Osafune is a big sword that can usually hit multiple things, so we might see him use it. Algorithm now finishing up top floor and gets the golem, so that's 2 souls as well. Or no, wait, 1 soul for him. I will say they definitely don't seem interested in chasing down that Galamoth lead right now. Because it is only 2 items behind the Chronomage, but it does count as a point of progression that would lock something. Yeah, so we hadn't seen the vanilla bottom of the clock tower door yet. It looks like it leads into Floating Garden. So that's good to keep in the memory banks. The item density in Garden is not very high, and Jupiter has not seen the area to the right either. So I think he might take a look there. Oh, here we go. Hal's also found the gardens. He's doing reverse garden. The strategy pioneered by Halgorithm. Going through the top rooms of the garden backwards. Maybe slightly faster. Like, it's really nice when you get somebody new to a game, generally, and they just show up like, hey, why does nobody do this? And then you try it, and it's like, oh, that's actually kind of okay. Except Hal just does that, like, every day of his life. So I believe Jupiter, yeah, he remembers where the other door leads, but he's gonna go check these items now. We have seen this situation a couple times, where you could get into Forbidden Area really early, but maybe you don't have the progression for it, and you're just like, there's a door there that you need to get. And just a Durandal at the end there. Durandal's not a bad weapon, but kinda not the thing you want to go all the way through for. So, nice save split. And he's going back for Garden. And he's doing forward Garden. So we'll get an idea of the splits here. Hal picking up Kicker Skeleton. I think I'm still a forward Gardens believer, but it is a closer question than I thought. Does not want the ninja suit this time. Also maybe skipping that long room. Alright, here we go, into Galwamoth. Book 2, and Wooden Golem. Book 2 is Manticore from Killer Mantle. So Manticore we've definitely seen. So in addition to being required, Manticore is also very good. There are 3 Rush Souls that you can use for damage. And they have 3 different power levels, and Manticore just happens to be the strongest one. So yeah, that's go mode for Jupiter. He's gonna take a look for what the best the shop has to offer here. He's got Flesh Golem, he could buy that rotten meat. Not feeling it, I guess. Alright. Well, he also didn't pick up a lot, so he might not have had that much to sell for value. I will say one aspect I like of the shop randomization is that it can just, like, make picking up more stuff valuable because everything gets a random shop price. And Jupiter's going into Graham at 32.45 about. Putting on Wooden Golem for that MP recovery. Gonna make great use of Rush Souls here. That was a nice spawn for Graham up against the wall there. Algorithm's into Study and got Undyne. Still doesn't think that he has Slide, which is interesting. I wonder if this is one of those situations where, like, he just, it's not something he's had to do before, so it's not in his head as something he's thinking about, that he can use Bat to get into these same kinds of gaps. Because I'm fairly certain he has Giant Bat. But he is gonna get to look at his book here, he's back into inner quarters. Alright, Jupiter's done with Graham, and there's a rune ring behind him. So we've got all the MP regen we could ever want. The Rush Souls, even though, like, they are, like, kind of, differing in how good they are all still all very good. So, Jupiter's pretty much set for combat. And he did remember where this side of Garden was. And Hal's back in to finish up Arena and going to get his red soul here, but he doesn't have the red book. Welcome AAB. So Jupiter is in go mode. He's fighting Julius. He's in the last boss rush of the game. Hal does not seem to be convinced that he can get into small gaps right now, but like he's seen a lot of the items he needs, but he doesn't think he's able to get them. This is all, it's been a lightning seed, as Jupiter would say. They got Hippogriff almost immediately, so they've been moving around pretty well. And Skull almost immediately as well, so they could go anywhere. It's just been a matter of, like, chewing through everything you can. And Julius is done on Jupiter's side. Alright, Hal's got his book 3 now. So there were 2 copies of Book 3 in the seed. The other one is in Dance Hall, and Halgorithm could see it. And at the time, I'm pretty sure he could have picked it up. I just don't think he made the Giant Bat connection at the time. And he's also seen the Red Book in the bottom of Reservoir as well. What do we got? I think that was a map over there. Dracula's Tunic? Yeah, we'll take that. It looks like Halgorithm is going to grind out Killer Mansell here. Not too bad of a place to do it. You can kind of move around annoyingly, though. Taking the safety save, because you never know with Chaos. But into Chaos at 38 minutes. He's not going Osafune here, he's going Muramasa, and Hal just picked up his blue soul as well, so he's got all the souls he needs. If he just knew that, he'd be well on his way, but we'll see where he goes here. Okay, he remembers. He's going right for that red book. Chaos Phase 1 is down. He's just going down so fast that, like, it's pretty uneventful, but pretty much Chaos Phase 1 locks away all your souls, but his parts there don't have any defense. So just hit him as hard as you can and you get your souls back. And this part, these orbs deal delayed damage to you, the Bone Dragon fires bigger orbs at you that deal more damage. You need to defeat the core, but the core is very high defense, and you need to get rid of these eyes on the side to be able to decrease its defense. So that's why you see the Muramasa dealing 1 damage there. But Manticore not bad, dealing 62 a tick, so just gonna roll with 2 eyes down. Why not? Even got some MP healing to use. Just gotta lock it down. When you're in your rush form, you can knock away these delayed damage orbs as well. So it isn't as dangerous as it might look. Sometimes you do like pick one up, but if you're able to stay in your rush form, it doesn't deal any damage to you. Halgoritm's into Graham. And that's GG to JupiterClimb. Nicely played. So that's win number 1 out of a potential best of 3. Alright, and at this point, Halgorithm has seen the race chat and forfeited, so looks like we will take a break and get set up for round 2. We should have the second match pretty much right after this one. We'll see if they need a break. Alright, getting underway in race 2 of round 2 of the Castlevania Aria of Sorrow Randomizer Tournament 2022. This is an exciting matchup between Halgorithm and JupiterClimb. Jupiter is very accomplished Castlevania speedrunner. Halgorithm is a very accomplished Castlevania innovator. We'll get him into speedrunning eventually. And right from the start, there are several cheap things in this shop, which is interesting. It looks like Hal actually might have accidentally bought something. But there is lubricant in the shop, which is a very good soul to see. I think they will both be picking that up at some point. And Hal is going to get the Vijaya to use as a weapon. Looks like they actually both did. Electric weapons, pretty good. They usually multi-hit. I can't figure out how to do it with the tall hammer, but I'm pretty sure there's a way. And Black Panther at the bottom of the fountain here. Inner quarters over to the left, not too bad to see. A little bit long to go through right now and might get walled off, so let's go the normal way for now. It looks like Hal is going to go in and maybe see what this door to the left is. Oh, but he's stuck, I think. And he did not save, so he actually has to make another file. Jupe finds Manticore. This is a very Manticore-themed day. And there's Devil, there's another one. Devil, Curly, and Manticore are the 3 rush souls in this game. And on the floor we've got Gravekeeper, that's backdash. And mouth is for Jupiter up here, so now we can go some places. Not quite as quickly as the first time around, but we're getting there. Jupe finding Clock Tower in the normal inner quarters spot. Gonna pick up the warp. This is the side that's underwater, so this is all I can really do in there right now. But he can do these checks near the start, which you usually need to come back with double jump for. Using sleep strats to get out of that long room is also a good idea. Well, we got a blue book sighting, and if it's got the word shadow on it, that's probably Shadow Knight. Jupiter heading into Dance Hall, deciding not to save split these top checks, maybe because we don't have a whole lot right now to work with. Now how you gotta stay on screen to pick that up. Poison Worm, interesting. And Jupiter's got Hippogriff up here. So this was the play. Don't save split, I guess? Oh, Hal got Skula over here. That seems pretty big if Jupiter is not going to come back to this side of the castle for a while. There would be another one placed in the castle, but there's no guarantee that he would run into it, and this one is pretty easy to run into. He finds a garden, so file this one away. We found garden at 5 minutes. Hopefully we'll remember it's here. And he's doing reverse garden again. There's a blue book sighting for halgorithm. Yeah, that's Shadow Knight from Were Tiger. So if you think it might be difficult to remember some of the differences between the recolors in this game, I definitely cannot remember the difference between the Were Tigers and the Were Jaguars. So I would not know where to tell you to go to find a Were Tiger. Oh, there's the other Skula and Floating Garden. That's really interesting. Tiger Yellow, Jaguar Orange? Okay. Rahab's Sword behind the waterfall. So we can get into Reservoir here. Jupiter's finding Death. He'll probably do this fight. He's got Manticore, he's got nothing to lose. Can't check the slide check this time. That was book 1 last seed. Watch out for that scythe! Okay, equip Panther just to avoid Death Scythe, which still has a hitbox. Ooh, and halgorithm taking a death to a trident. That's gonna sting a little bit. That is a Calidbolg under the floor here. So Calidbolg and Demon's Mail Seed, and there's Giant Bad as well. Seems like a lot of things are coming up for Jupe right now, finding both sources of flight. I still don't think he's seen either copy of Schooler, but he will get there eventually, and he'll be able to get there pretty quickly when he does. Finishing off Manticore, at the top of this room, some tasty meat. You can see them both like going out of their way to pick up warps. I would say that's a pretty understated thing to do in these seeds, especially given that these are area randomizer seeds. Being able to get back to doors that you know something might be behind that you need, it's very useful. And there are several areas in the game that don't have warps, so you do actually have to like remember the area connections that you've seen as well. I tried taking notes last time I played. That might be helpful to some people as well. Halgorithm actually made a map of the area connections that he might be using right now as well. Jupe's got Stolas, which is a pretty nice gold soul, gives you 16 int. Intelligence is the damage stat for all of your blue souls, so that just makes our rush souls even better. And we're into the top side of Clock Tower now. Yeah, I think Hal has to leave. He doesn't have a source of flight to be able to clear out the waterfall stuff. Although he could get to a couple of the other doors, but I think he might remember what they are. There's that Demon's Mail taunting. Alright, who do we have at the top of Clock Tower? It's Legion. Is Jupiter gonna do this fight? I guess so, like, it won't take too long. He doesn't really have MP regen, but he has good damage output, I suppose. He's got a multi-hit weapon as well for when Manticore is down. As soon as he's able to break one part off of Legion, you can just kind of like sit in the corner and damage the core. The problem with fighting Legion is that he has so much HP. Like, each of the parts of him has a pile of health, and then you have to get to the core, which you can barely hit in the first place, and that's got its own health bar. But yeah, now that he's got the right side broken off, he can just kind of stand over here and dodge the lasers as they come by. So, okay, that wasn't too bad, actually. And he is going to get a decent amount of experience for fighting Legion and a potato pancake. Yeah, that was a fast Legion. The typical Legion is not fast. There is an argument that you should fight more bosses than not, just because the endgame bosses do not give you any experience. So whatever level you've gotten to by exploring the seed, that is likely what you're locked into when you're going through the endgame. Because going through Chaotic Realm, you don't have to fight anything in there. Working your way through top floor, same thing. Like, you might fight a couple of the lubricants to get them out of your way, but it's hardly something you have to do. Looks like Jupiter is gonna go back to the right here, but he's still not going down to where that one copy of school is. And he's finding Arena at the very top of Castle Corridor. Arena does not exit to anywhere. You can only, like, go in and warp out, but it does have items, for sure. Now, if I recall, Giant Bat was up here, so Hal will be able to start catching up and doing some of these flight checks soon. And that's Galamoth at the end of the giant skeleton room. That hurts. That is so deep in here. And I don't think No, we did see the left way into inner quarters. So, again, another thing to keep in the back of your head, just do those 2 checks after Galamoth. Lubricant room has Devil. The worst room has an Elfin Robe, which he is actually going to go back for, yeah. So that's even more of an intelligence boost for what we have already. And Hal is finally equipping some armor. That should be good. So you don't need to play DDR in this room if you have Giant Bat. You can just sneak through this developer oversight in the wall. And there's a rune ring. So we should have no combat troubles, we just need to figure out what we need. It also looks like Halgorithm is also going to fight Legion here. Once again, we've got Headhunter at the end of Arena. Headhunter, kind of a cool boss with the 3 different forms, but not too bad to take out when you have as much stuff as a randomizer usually lets you have. And we can see just how great the Vijaya's multi-hits are on Legion. Just the death of Legion, but I'm thinking he might think this is out right now. Looks like Gorgon is in the Galamoth room. It's also important to read your castle map too. So things we have not seen. I don't believe we've seen the Forbidden Area items. Jupiter's top floor to look through. So yeah, this is new to us as well. Another death to Legion. I think Hal might be thinking about... Oh, he's still gonna go for it. Okay. Looking at his healing, he might have been thinking about, like, going back to the shop, actually. Because if you're doing that, I think he's fairly certain that this is his play right now. But as we've seen, he might just be missing a few of the area connections that Jupiter's been into already. There's a lot of souls in top floor. Just gonna hit that wrecking ball for later. Algorithm's got the strat. Uh-oh, that laser is right in his face, though. Alright, Gold Book is Poison Worm from Evil Butcher. And we've found our way into the study. I believe we've seen Poison Worm, so not too bad. And even if not, the dance hall is full of evil butchers that we could go find as well. And Hal has dispatched Legion and finding just that potato pancake back there, but got some experience for it, definitely gonna lock that in. Jupiter going to work on Balor, another boss with 2 forms. He's going to hit you with his fists with that first eye, which is fairly defensive. Then the second eye shoots lasers at you, but has no defense. So he's able to chew through the second form pretty quickly. And Persephone is behind it. So that's not our blue. There are a fair number of decoy souls placed around the castle, so you can't just, like, pick up a candle and call it good and pretend to not read your books without taking a risk. You can try to guess a soul. We actually had a race where that happened earlier today. But, yeah, there is some risk involved. Hal is thinking. Oh, there's Kicker in the merman room. Yeah, Jupiter's still not seen either of the schools. There is one that halgorithm just picked up at the end of Castle Corridor, and the second copy is in Floating Garden, which is one of the entrances is right next to that room. So, yeah, he hasn't been over that way. He's like slowly working his way over there. He went into the killer doll room instead. Underground cemetery is behind the wrecking ball on top floor. Finally checking that out. There are 4 items here, 3 of them behind the boss. First one, just a lance. Great armor, not a problem at all. And that's just a map. An Eversing, that's nice armor. And Super Potion. So he could have healed for Ripper Room, but he got more healing for it, so nothing gained, nothing lost. Algorithm finds study, so this is a path to 1 book if he's able to get it. I don't think he's going to end up with slide in here, though. Jupiter's back over here for the ceiling check in Dance Hall. You need either Kicker Skeleton or some kind of flight to be able to get in here. Ah, that's nothing. But Forbidden Area is back here, so seeing this for the first time. I'm fairly certain Halgorithm has not seen either source of flight. He's definitely not seen Hippogriff, because he's not been into Dance Hall. And if you're Hal right now, you got to be thinking like, man, this is throwing me into some really tough situations, and we as the viewers know, like, yeah, this isn't gonna pay out, but Ballora is a decent amount of experience still, so maybe a decent idea to fight this out. And that is a vanilla big golem. Jupiter did pick up the Iron Golem Soul, which is proving very useful as he charges through some of these enemies here. It basically deletes knockback, so it can be a little risky if you're charging through, like, just constant hitboxes, because you'll keep getting hit, and in tougher areas, you just keep getting hit by powerful attacks over and over. But for areas like Dance Hall, it's not much of a risk. Especially when we're, like, wearing a Demon's Mail right now. I see Ronginus' Spear in the shop. I see Arc Demon. Wow, shop is absolutely stacked. Those are cheap potions, cheap tasty meat. This is incredible. Yeah, so two very different issues going on right now. Halgoritm's looking for flight, and Jupiter is trying to deal with the well-documented problem of everybody in the year 2035 just being incredibly buoyant. Like, you by default, your Soma's jacket is just stuffed with, I don't know, packing peanuts, and so he's unable to sink. And so what Skula allows him to do is he realizes all of these packing peanuts are in his jacket, and he takes them out, and he's like, oh yeah, it's almost like I can swim now. Jupiter looking at that big hole on his map, thinking, what do I still have to do here? Heading back into the forbidden area. And this is left side inner quarters, so he could take Galamoth over here. That reminds me, I gotta mark that off. Algorithm's got Undying, that's an interesting place for that. That's definitely one of those stares at the map that's like, what do I have? Algorithm doing both strats to get to the top of the eastern reservoir, finding Shadow Knight. So that's our blue. Jupiter picking up Poison Worm, that's the yellow soul for him. Finally going in these rooms. Going to pick up his Skula. And flying armor. And Halgrim's got regular old slide, and Jupiter is finally going to go in this door. Knows where to fly. Alright, so Jupiter has book 3. Halgorithm has seen it, but didn't have a way to grab it when he saw it. They both have book 2. There are 2 copies of it, and one was very easy to get at the top of the corridor. Thank you, my cord just fell out. Yeah, so book 2 was very easy to get. There were 2 copies of it. One was at the top of the corridor. So we've got that locked in. I believe we might still be on the lookout for a red book. Boat skip is incredibly swag. Just discovered recently, if you like land to the right of that boat, it'll shove you right into the wall. Oh, that's a Gungner. Please pick that up, Jupiter, yes. Gungner is another very good lightning weapon. Got a little bit of sync here, as they're both in Eastern Reservoir. It ends up being very slow to go through here with all these fish heads in the way, and this is one of the places where Iron Golem really shines. Especially if you've got good armor, as like that seed gives you. Algorithm going in the rooms that don't have anything. They really just make you charge through this big golem, but it is one of the ways to get around here. I believe he's already seen the item in the big room, so maybe he's taking this way because he's timed it out and he thinks it's faster. Picking up that Undine again. I believe we've already seen the exit that was behind Waterfall, and the item was just Rahab's sword, so I don't think it will factor in that much, but it is progression. We see the return to the Forbidden Area. I think this is like trip number 3 in here. That's a Death Scythe. Death Scythe, very big weapon, very powerful. Pretty useful for doing some safe strats on the later bosses. And book 1 at the end of Forbidden Area, Kyoma Demon from Mimic. So our souls today are Kyoma Demon, Shadow Knight, and Poison Worm. And I know we've seen Kyoma Demon somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, I believe Jupiter might be in Go mode. Because he's definitely got a copy of Poison Worm. I believe Shadow Knight was also pretty easily available. And a second copy of Book 1 at the end of the Clock Tower. Wow, these positions really hurt for that book. Especially because Slide was in such a distant place in Eastern Reservoir. So you'd have to get either that or Bat to be able to see this without like doing the damage boost. Alright, Jupiter's through Phase 2 of Graham, got the right souls. That is where the check is at the end of that spinny orb phase. So you got the right souls equipped there. He says the words, he does the portrait. You go into Phase 3, you can equip whatever you want for this part. Just gonna chew through him with some Manticore and get on our way to the final bosses of the seed. And now it looks like Halgorithm is doing the map stare of, what have I not done? So if I recall correctly, Dance Hall was just over to the left at the start here, and he had not been back to it. So let's see if he goes in this door. Looks like it. Oh no, this is inner quarters, okay. Right, yeah, because he got soft locked here. Jupiter boldly charging into Julius with 1 HP. You love to see it. So because the Lubricant Soul was available, that soul gives you extra stats for lower HP. So you can do strats like this where you just intentionally take hits or decrease your HP. And because we've got like Manticore, we've got so many MP boosting things, he's just gonna try and like rush soul his way through this. Safety healing for Phase 2. I don't think this is as bad of a phase, but he doesn't do his like 4-hit stagger on this phase. Every 4 hits he takes from a weapon, he staggers on Phase 1. He doesn't do that in Phase 2. But yeah, it's a pretty fast fight. Algorithm finishing off Death, doing the Scythe dodge. Picking up Mimic from Death. Does not have Galamoth, because he's not gone through Arena. But he is getting that Calibulg now. And there is Giant Bat. Not even saving before chaos. Just charging right in. Yes, to be completely honest with chat, I did roll this seed, but I do not have a complaints department, so I am not sure where to forward your grievances. Yeah, I could see thinking you're behind if you're Jupiter here, because he did take a while to go over to where one copy of Skoola was. Alright, so he's got his souls back. 294 damage to take to the eyes. So he's just gonna take these out pretty quickly. He's got MP healing. Should be the same kind of situation as game 1, because we've got the same setup. We've got Manticore, we've got int boosting stuff. He's got an Ascalon in his pocket, apparently. Algorithm's over into Arena, so he will get, or he's bailing out of Arena. Yeah, when he hasn't seen these flight lock doors, and that's GG to Jupiter. Yep, a confident 2-0 for Jupiter, even with the strange locations of things in seed number 2 here. We're seeing if we can get them in here to talk a little about it. Hello, Algorithm.
Hello. How's it going? Sorry, was I supposed to join yet?
Oh, you're cool. Sound
Okay.
good. Boy,
good.
that was an event. This, especially the second race, things seemed like they were all over the place.
Yeah, I died. I feel like I practiced my movement a lot, so I feel like I mostly was doing that well, but I just kind of wasn't paying too much attention to my health, so I died a few times, and then I got flustered and forgot stuff, which has always been my issue with being kind of a new rando player, just trying to remember everything. But
yeah, it did seem like it was kind of a rough healing situation, just from like things that you guys were picking up.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember there being too much. Like, I think in the first game I just bought a bunch of milks because they were cheap, but they're not like the best healing. Then in the second game I just kind of scavenged stuff. I don't think I found any like full heals, and I didn't find, I think, any MP restoration stuff, which I wanted for like making Legion go faster.
Yeah, you guys actually both fought Legion, which very understandable for the levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it yeah, it was pretty much I needed some levels at that point because I don't think I had any armor, or if I did, I had like a silk rope. I don't think I had anything though.
Welcome, Jupiter, by the way.
Hey, good games, halgorithm was a lot of fun.
Good games. Yep. It was fun. Could have played better, but still fun. I hope to come back in losers and
So I'd say
challenge you again.
the story of Seed 1 was you guys were mostly following in each other's footsteps. There was a slight issue with algorithm. I think you had Bat, but you might not have realized you could sneak your way into those
I completely
slide
forgot.
checks.
I was like, oh, I don't have slide. I guess I can't do this. That would have saved so much time having those books early.
Yeah, I saw you looking at that gold book and just like jumping around it, thinking, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, not a good seed to forget about. Bat being able to fit into small spaces. That one.
And then the second one, you guys actually went very different ways. Skula was actually one of the last things that Jupiter got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whereas Halgorithm had it really early because he went all the way through corridor, saw the door at the end.
Yeah, that ended up costing me big. Just to explain, because I got pretty dang lost in the middle of game 2. I thought I had done everything, but I just had kind of forgotten entirely that I didn't fully clear out Castle Corridor. So I ended up doing all of Dance Hall first, and I think I pretty much full cleared except for Castle Corridor. So that cost me a good 3 or 4 minutes. And at that point, I thought I was way behind. So I decided to go for some more aggressive strats late, which is why you saw me do like Spoiled Milk versus Graham and Julius, and then I didn't save before Chaos. That was a little ambitious. I probably shouldn't have done that. But so that was my mindset, because Skula was just so late.
Yeah, that was the ultimate, and like, this guy thinks he's behind.
Not saving a chaos is. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the issue that Halgorithm ran into was not finding Flight. You'd just gotten Giant Bat, like, shortly before you finished, I think.
Yeah, I was just trying to find flight and then find top floor and then just guess because I was like, that's the only way at this point that I can catch up. Is
Want to
getting
give a
lucky
quick
with
shout
this.
out? Want to give a quick
Yeah,
shout
go
out to Luicho. There was a moment early on in the seed where I did a route I've never done before. I warped back to the start and I just thought to myself, what would Luicho do here? What would be a nice bold route? So I saved in the Merman room right at the start, and then I saved split up to Dance Hall. And that ended up being Hippogriff very early. So I thought I'd roll the dice, that paid off. So that part of the seed was good. The rest not so much. I'll have to work on my routing a bit for the next round.
Oh, I actually missed that that's what you were doing. I saw you not save in Dance Hall, and I thought, oh, are you not save splitting this? But then it just paid off anyway.
Yeah, it's a big brain save split. Yeah, because I can only like think of like one. Like this is a safe point where I would do a save split, and I can only do like the one segment. But yeah.
I tend to find that with Panther seeds like this one, save splits aren't quite as powerful because, you know, backtracking isn't that long. But I still think there are a few spots where it can really come in handy.
That's cool, yeah.
So yeah, thanks for the races, guys.
Sure thing. Thanks for having us.
And there's plenty more tournament to come. It's not over for Halgorithm. It's double elimination tournament. So both of these runners will be back next week, and there's going to be plenty more Aria of Sorrow Randomizer on SpeedGaming. So keep your eyes out.
Stuff. Thanks for having us. Bye.
Have a good night, guys.